Hello and welcome to another Having a Chat. We're in the living room again. I really hope these work out. So Robert Englund in a recent interview said that he would really like to see an even gayer remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. And Dakota and I are both super down with that. We think that's a great idea.
Fuck yeah.
We're not even being sarcastic. I would be there day one to see an even more homoerotic Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Yeah.
So I guess we're just going to dive into how would we like to see that movie take shape. I think before we even start talking, obviously we want Robert Englund back as Freddy Krueger.
Yep.
And it's got to be rated R, and I want it to get like the same love and respect that like Halloween 2018 got.
Yeah.
You know? All right, so go ahead, Dakota. I'll let you go first.
Okay.
How would you like to see the gayer Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 take shape?
All right. Well, as you said, Robert Englund being back was great. And despite what people say, I liked our last Freddy Krueger in the remake. He was
Jackie Earle Haley, yeah.
He was great. But yeah, I would prefer Englund because he was the one who brought up saying that he would love to make this happen. So he has to be there, in my opinion. Hard R. And I just think they should double down on the gayness, because in the original Nightmare 2, I think that one gets a pretty bad rap, but that's one of my favorite ones. That's a great movie, and it's not like there's like just gay intercourse.
No, it's actually it's a fairly mature film, and there's a lot of like hidden subtext in it, a lot of like internal struggle, like Freddy literally coming out of the main character and like dealing with this internal homoeroticism. And there's like the gay bar scene, or the supposed gay bar scene, an ass whipping scene. There's a lot of very homoerotic visuals. It's a much more mature movie than I think a lot of people give it credit for.
It doesn't come off as like sleazy or anything like that. It's just really, people are so shocked by it because they're treating like our main boy as if he was like a main female lead. You know, he's jumping around singing in tight short clothing and everything, wrestling around with his buddies, having sleepovers. That's just kind of what girls have been doing in horror movies for a long time. But, you know, no one's calling those lesbian films. And so, you know, just because a guy does it, it's like super gay, which, you know, I can see why, but it
doesn't have to be. You understand, especially in the 80s mindset, I guess.
And this one, I just like them to, you know, really even go further with it, not to the point where we're seeing full frontal nudity by any means, just, you know, maybe he's just actually gay.
I'm comfortable enough with my heterosexuality that I'd be totally fine seeing a guy hang dong.
Yeah, if there was dick in it, that wouldn't bother me at all. It's just, I don't know if you could get away putting that in theaters without just being porn.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not fair. Women can show their tits, their bums. You can get a little bit of vag in there, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
But us men, we're relegated to bare buttocks,
chest.
I want to be able to hang dong in movies.
You can expect that in our next video.
Yeah, next video, having a chat, actually hanging dong.
Yep. I would just like to see like the characters actually be gay, because despite the gay undertones, Jesse in Nightmare 2 is not homosexual at all. He has a female love interest in that film. I'd love if he was gay. Maybe he was gay with Grady. Jesse and Grady are the two underrated characters of the whole Nightmare franchise, and it is a damn shame they've never shown up again in any respect, the same way Heather Langenkamp has been.
Yeah, I, for one, am curious to hear how are you remaking this plot-wise? Are you doing like a straight remake of the original film, like the way that the original film had its remake?
I would like them to take the same direction, where as in Freddy's kind of like adopting a new method to like spread fear and kill people by possessing someone. I'd like them to do that. I'd like to see the bit of Freddy kind of crossing into the real world through his possession, like he does at my favorite scene in the second one at the pool party.
That's such a good scene.
That's a great scene. He spreads the arms out. "You are all my children now." Perfect fucking line. I'd love to see something like that. And, you know, of course, probably with how a lot of horror movies these days are kind of have a lot more, it's a lot less about the sleaze and more about like the message behind the violence and the gratuity and everything like that. You could pull a lot of like, you know, like homophobia in today's society, the struggles of gay, maybe even trans people, with how everything works and everything.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Like talk about trans issues with like how Freddy Krueger literally like transitions out of people's bodies. You know, there's a lot you could tackle there.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Like, double down on gay. Make sure the characters, especially Jesse Grady, are just as good and well acted. And, you know, bring up the kind of subtext and the issues brought up within kind of the subtle nature of it to fit more modern, I guess, concerns with gay people and trans people. That'd be good. Because I don't think we've really gotten, other than like, you know, like the original two, we haven't really got much in the horror way, at least for male gayness. We haven't really had much representation there, or especially trans people. So just more of that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually know who I want to star in it and who I want to direct it.
Okay.
I'm probably going to pronounce his name wrong, but I got it brought up here. I know this director. I'm a fan of his work. But Luca Guadagnino, the man who directed Call Me By Your Name and Suspiria, the remake.
Yeah.
And I would like Jesse, and I would like Jesse to be played by Timothy Chalamet.
Fucking Timothy Chalamet. Chalamet?
Is it Chalamet?
I think it's Chalamet.
Swiss Chalet?
Yeah, Swiss Chalet. We'll
I want Swiss Chalet. No, okay, so yeah, no, I know Luca Guadagnino can do horror extremely well.
Yep.
He can do gay extremely well.
Yep.
Call Me By Your Name is a fantastic movie.
Yep.
I really would like to see his take done in... If it's 3 hours long, that would be incredible. I want to see him do what he did with Suspiria. Basically mash what he did with Suspiria and Call Me By Your Name into a gay horror film. Nightmare on Elm Street 2 remake, directed by him, with Timothy Chalamet in the main role, because I know he can pull it off, and Robert Englund playing Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I think my plot is like the same kind of structure. Like, it'd be more of a traditional remake in that sense, where it's like the original film, but really like dive into it, get as introspective and like really get into the minds of the characters. Really, I'd be totally fine with an extremely long kind of character study of both Freddy and Jesse, and just like... calling me.
You got work to do, boy.
It's 2:28. They're probably calling me, asking me. I'll have to censor that, but I'm gonna leave this all in. But my work just called me, and
Guess you should probably answer that.
nah. Let's check my schedule. Hope that didn't interrupt the recording.
Probably should check, but it's got the blinking up there. I don't think it's interrupted. You don't fucking work today, do you?
Better not. I'm not available to work on Sundays. Also, it's a really weird time. No, I don't work today. Wait.
Odd.
Yeah, Sunday the 6th. Wait, is there another schedule here? What is this? Yeah, here's another one. No, I don't work today.
Odd.
Oh, well, this got really derailed. But otherwise, like, basically do what he did with the Suspiria remake. Just because, I know that might not be what a lot of horror fans would want. I just don't know if they'd want to see the movie that's like that long and like that. Like, they probably want, if they're gonna make another Nightmare on Elm Street movie, they probably just want a more traditional slasher film, is what I'm trying to say. They probably wouldn't want the more... Maybe they would. Maybe I'm completely wrong and I'm not giving slasher fans enough credit. Maybe they would really want what I'm describing here, this very kind of deep dive.
You're looking for a bit more artsy sort of thing.
Yeah, a little bit more artsy. Take the Freddy Krueger character a lot more seriously and really go to town on the lore, the characters, everything that's going on around them, and all the emotional struggles and the journey they're going through, basically. Make it like very artistic, I guess. Make it less grindhousey, make it more,
Yeah.
And that sounds a little douchey too. But whatever. I mean, maybe people would be into it. I don't want it to sound like I'm saying, like, I want them to make a superior highbrow horror film much better than the trash. Because I love slasher films. I want to make slasher films. I think that it's like one of the best genres of movies there is. I'm not trying to highbrow anybody here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that this would interest me.
Yeah.
You know, this would be something, and I think this is the perfect slasher character to try something like that with. You know, like, because Freddy Krueger's such like a cerebral character.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, it would be an experiment that I'd really like to see. This is in no way a prediction. I think if this were to somehow actually get made, they would just do either like the Platinum Dunes remake garbage that they did the first time, just remake the movie again, or they would make it a little bit more traditional with some more overtly homosexual undertones.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and I'd be happy with that still, with the latter one. But this would be something that I'd be like, holy shit, like, I gotta see that. I gotta see Luca Guadagnino's gayer Nightmare on Elm Street 2 movie with Timothée Chalamet as Jesse. Obviously, goes without saying, I agree, hard R and the works.
Yeah, I think, like you said, that I think while you were saying a lot of people might be turned off by the more, I guess, kind of less straightforward, maybe a little more out there kind of aspect, but I do think everyone would want, as much as everyone didn't like Platinum Dunes, is they would want to keep it as they're returning to scary, serious Freddy. I don't think anyone ever wants to go back to kind of the later Freddy, as much as he can be entertaining, but people want spooky, really fucking shit your pants Freddy back.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I just really would like to see something in the style of Superior. I want to say festival or art house theater. I think that sounds a little bit more of what I'm trying to describe rather than intellectual.
Right.
I don't want to say intellectual.
Yeah.
I mean more like a festival film or like, you know, that kind of thing. Like something a little bit more like if you've seen Suspiria, you know what I'm talking about, I guess. Cool. That's it. Time to raise the spookometer for having a chat. Dakota's not here. We forgot to fill it while he was here, so I'm filling it now in my own time. It's getting pretty spooky. Thanks for watching.